listening to and watching Saying What You Want podcast. Hey, man, y'all already know who it is, man. We back again. It's the Saying What You Want podcast, man. I'm Baby Gas.
And I'm Monique Meraz.
And today, if you watching us on video, he don't need an introduction. But if you're listening to us on audio, man, we right here with my guy, Noel G, or as the world knows, for the 100th time, Hector. What's going on, man? How we doing?
Couldn't leave it alone, huh? Couldn't leave it alone.
Alone. And we already know the story behind it too. I just think that it was most importantly. I'll just dive into it. I think it was dope how you took advantage of a marketing opportunity. You know, like you said, it started coincidentally, and you were like, "Fuck it, let's ride this wave."
Yeah, I was like, whatever, man. As long as the checks were clearing, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy because literally, I would say in Hollywood, they only know two names for Mexican actors, Hector and Carlos. Because every damn script I get or got, I kid you not, most of them, at least 80 to 75% of them, was always Hector or Carlos. It got so bad, my agent would call me and be like, "You ain't gonna believe it." And I'm like, "Let me guess, another Hector audition." She's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Oh, well, whatever. Let's just go do it."
Man,
So,
and you know what? Like, we do homework before we get into any podcast with anybody. So, I did watch a lot of podcasts where you spoke on the name, you spoke on your approach. I just think that, many years later, for people to still see you every day, still call you Hector. I know for a lot of people, in Hollywood specifically, like, the guy that plays Harry Potter, what's his name?
I don't
like
know
being
his
called
real
Harry
name.
Potter. Some people don't like being known as a character.
right.
So after all these years, how do you feel about Hector?
Nah, it don't bother me, man. I'm starting to think it's my real name. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in a mall and someone says Hector, I'm like, "What's up? What's up?" Like I'm turning to it. So I'm about to go to the DMV and switch it up. To be real, no, I'm playing.
Yeah, right.
I'm like making my middle name or something. You know what I mean?
Well, huh?
I might as well just like you said, ride the wave. I might as well just take it all the way.
It brought the check in, man.
But I will say the fans get excited because, like, the first movie I saw was Fast and Furious.
Yep.
And then another movie that comes to mind is Training Day because my dad took me to go see both movies. And when we seen you in Training Day, we're like, "Hey, it's Hector."
Yeah.
So it was like there's excitement there.
Oh, you had seen him in Fast and Furious first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nah, for sure. And you know what? One thing we do on Saying What You Want, man, we do give people their flowers while they can smell them. Right? So first and foremost, I want to give you your flowers, man, for being in the game such a long time. And even her mentioning some of these movies, I think one of the things that people don't realize is you were really in these movies with these actors that have made a crazy ass name for themselves, and you were there early on. Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
Paul Walker, rest in peace. You know what I mean? And I mean, fuck, to me that's huge, man, because I feel like Hollywood is oversaturated, just like the music industry. Everybody want to be an actor. Everybody want to be a model. You know what I mean? Some people, gain success overnight, but it's not too often that you bump into somebody that, 20 years strong, still relevant, still popping up, still booked. So congratulations on that, man. I got to give it to you.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's love. Yeah, it's a blessing, man, when you could still work in this business and stay active. You know what I mean? My manager made a joke. He said, when you got to worry is when they stop calling you. It's like, that's when you got to worry.
Right.
So as long as they keep on calling you, you straight, you good. Yeah. So to be able to still be able to work to this day and keep it moving and, get whatever I get, I consider it a real blessing. I'm very thankful for it. So, yeah. Absolutely. And I always tell people, there's one thing that people got to understand about this business, though. If everyone understood that there was room for everybody in this business, there would be no hate. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that people just don't understand. There's room for everybody in this business. Right. And we're now seeing it. Back in the early days, as we were saying off camera, we didn't have social media. We didn't have all that.
Yeah.
But now because of social media and the way that the game has changed and the new streaming platforms that everyone has access to, you basically can. You just create your own deal and move forward.
Absolutely.
And, whoever is watching you is going to watch you. Whoever's watching him is going to watch him. Whoever's watching him is going to watch him, and so on. You know what I mean?
And what were you dealing with, obviously going back to the Hector thing and, just them having two names for the, any Latino roles. Did you deal with any struggles, being one of the few Latino actors, that was doing? Because you have Latino. What are you mixed with?
Yeah. No, I'm Mexican Italian. My mom's
Italian.
Mexican. My dad's Italian. Yeah.
So did you ever?
But I don't even claim all that because I grew up Mexican American my whole life, so I just consider myself Mexican American because I only grew up with Mexicans my whole
Right.
life, so that's all I know.
Yeah, so
You know what I
so
mean?
you don't even you
I
didn't
feel
really know
that.
the Italian culture like that.
All I know in the Italian culture, I make a joke, is fettuccine con mozzarella. That's a joke though, because I don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Nah,
about the
and
farthest
I
I
feel
go.
that, man. I feel that. You know, you only know what you was raised by, you know, and everything that
Yeah.
you was around. And did you ever deal with like any type of struggle? You know, obviously we seen you in a lot of dope roles. We know that you're booked, but back in those days, were you dealing with any type of struggle of getting roles because you were Hispanic?
Yeah, that you know, you're gonna struggle first of all in anything you do, no matter what it is, whether you white, black, purple, pink, yellow, blue, or green, whatever. But it was difficult at the time because we didn't really have quote unquote power to position ourselves and make certain things happen the way we would have liked things to happen. And so, you know, we tried that for a minute. We started a company called Suspect Entertainment, and it was to bring the authentic, quote unquote, gangsters to the table so we could be seen in the real way. And the way that started was I did a film one time, and this director brought on all these Latino cats, right? Nothing bad to say about them. Good people, everything. They just didn't, they looked like Mexican surfers. So
Right.
I went up to the director, me and a homeboy of mine, and we were like, I just got one question. Can I bring some homeboys from my hood? All I want to do is bring them. All I want you to do is look at them, and then you make the decision on who you want to use.
Trying to give
So
it more
he,
of that authentic feel.
yeah, so he saw our homies, and he was like, all right, we going with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so we started this. So you had a lot of battles of trying to get up in the game, you know, at the time because we weren't really quote unquote wanted at that time. And so, you know, we had to find a way to be creative and strategic to be able to maneuver to get in. So I had a lot of battles and problems like anybody else. Once again, it took me 8 years to get my first movie. So this was no walk in the park. I always tell people, like,
Yeah.
if I would have quit it on that 7th year, if I would have threw in the towel, gave up, say, it's not happening, it's not going down, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, you know? So I always tell people, push forward, but do it in integrity. You know, integrity will take you farther than anything else. When you're a person of integrity, people want to do favors for you, you feel me? But long story short, to answer your question and get back to the root, yeah, there was struggles like anything else, but you know, I just fought through. I didn't give up. I was passionate about it, and you know, I was able to make it happen. And you know, here I am still doing it, making it happen.
Nah,
That's
salute, salute. And the reason I asked that was because for the ones that don't know, and many of you have seen it on social media, I was on set for a movie that is coming out of the Bay Area called Splash City.
Give it up, Splash City, my
Yeah.
boy right here, Baby Gas
Yes,
in the
sir. You know, so I had the privilege of meeting Noel on set. Actually, I think where we was at, we was at a mall scene. I think Hayward, you know, Southland Mall. But one of the things that you know I had said early on when they had reached out to me to even audition for this role, you know, you're one of the actors that comes up, right? Because I always like to think about the people that came before me. I know when in the music industry, the reason I even asked that question is when I first started rapping, we dealt with a lot of that bullshit. You know what I mean? We dealt with a lot of the like, man, this ain't a Mexicans game. You know what I mean? You know, the Latinos that was rapping was probably from New York, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. But when they seen a Mexican, you know, I'm like, man, this ain't your sport. You know what I mean? Now it's cool. Everybody likes having an amigo friend now.
Yeah.
You know, our cultures in Mexico, and you know, everybody looks at us like the plug. You know, our cultures got televised, so they think it's cool now. But when we first started off, I felt like we kind of got the cold shoulder.
Man, don't get me started on that one, bro, because I'll tell you straight up, straight out. You know, one thing I hate about social media, and I'm stuck on this new thing. I'm going to tell you what I've been stuck on lately for the past year. I've been stuck on this. If you don't know someone personally, or you were not involved in the situation personally, you really don't know a damn thing about anything, straight up, straight out. You only know what you were told or what was showed on the news or through gossip or whatever. But if you don't know the person personally, we're not involved personally, you really don't know nothing. And so I say that to say this, you know, being behind the curtain, I got to see a lot. And one thing that I'll tell you I seen straight up, straight out, and I'll tell you what the proof of it is. I'll tell you what the proof of it is, straight up, straight out. is now because of social media, there's a lot of Latinos out there that are saying, oh, I was always about the Latino people, and I've always been for my people. No, you weren't. Because if you were about our people, we would have been on the map 20 years ago.
Right.
You weren't about our, but now that social media is out and we cannot be ignored, we can't, there's too many of us out there to ignore. Now they're coming out saying, oh, I was always about the Latinos. I was always for you guys. No, you weren't. Because I
That
knew
fucking
some of you
part.
behind the curtain
Absolutely.
when you weren't about us. So don't get out there and say now all of a sudden you're about us when you never were.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny. And so that's why I say in any business, just so we're clear, whether you work at Walmart or you're a doctor in a hospital, whatever, any business, there's crookedness, there's foulness, there's, fakes, whatever. But Hollywood the most. If I ever seen the grimiest, slimiest, cutthroat, two-faced people, it has been in Hollywood. And I call it
Damn,
Hollywood, not Hollywood.
Hollywood.
That's what I call it, Hollywood, not Hollywood. So that's why I say, and I'll be real, man, not in the sense of this. You'll get what I'm saying when I say it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care about podcasts. I don't care about radio interviews, magazine stuff, all this stuff, because some of these cats, I got the blessing to see and know them behind the curtain. So when I see them on the podcast and they say what they say or the interview or whatever, I'm like, man, you funny. I'm like, I'll thank you for saying the right thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't get behind you because I don't know you personally to be able to get behind you to know if you're real about what you're saying. Because I've been behind the curtain and seen so much dirt and some of these people that people are applauding and, oh, he's the best and that dude's cool and whatever. And I'm like, if you knew him the way that I know him behind the curtain,
Right.
you might not be a fan. You might not be applauding for that person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's
People
why I
only
just
see
trip out.
what
But
people only
sorry,
see
man,
what
you hit a
want them to
nerve.
see.
You hit a nerve right there.
you-
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
you
know
hit a nerve right
that's
there.
facts, though.
That's why I just say it straight up. Like, I was pitching when Friday came out. Hear me loud and clear. I got witnesses that'll attest to this all day long.
I'm saying what you
When
want.
Friday came out, I like Cat Williams right now. I let it all out. When Friday came out, I said, the moment seeing that movie, I said, we need a Mexican version of Friday. We need a Latino hood comedy, authentic. I was pitching it 20 years ago. And there was a lot of Latinos that had power at the time. I didn't have that type of power to make things happen, but I'll get on that subject in a second later. And a lot of the Latinos that are on Front Street now that are the big ones, and they know who the hell they are. When I came up to
they
them and
know.
told them, hey, let's do it. They didn't want to give it time of day. Not one person. But now, again, that social media is out, I've always been about the Latino people. No, but here's where the proof is at. If that was true, once again, there would have been Latino stars 20 years ago, or at least 15 years ago,
Damn.
before social media was hard. You know what comment I used to make back then? I said, there's 50 white movie stars, there's 50 black movie stars. Why can't there be 50 Latino movie stars?
Right.
That's a comment I always used to make, because I was one of the ones getting it all the time, because quote unquote, I was one of the faces back then. So who do you think heard it the most? Your boy right here.
Right.
So that's why I get so pissed off with fakes and two faces. Like, I say it like it is. I just don't care. Now, let me make this other quick thing, though, and I want to keep it 100,
Yeah, for sure.
as I always was.
Yeah,
Talk
this is
like
saying
that.
what you want.
So here's my thing, though, too. One thing that I've learned, though, you got to know who you're helping and why. Before you mess with anybody, you do a heart check and a personality check first, because you might be helping the wrong person. Let me make my point on this one. So back in the early days, it's all right to have a good heart, but you got to protect your heart. You can have a good heart all day long, but you got to know how to protect it. So here's what I mean by that, right? So back in the early days when I didn't know any better and I was trying to help all kind of Latino cats out, I would get backstabbed or two-faced. They would be in the room because I'm the one who got them in the room.
Right.
And they would be talking crap on me to the person who I hooked them up with. And I'm like, what?
Just to make themselves look better.
Or whatever. So I would try to put people on, right? Anyone who said, I want to be an actor, I'd be like, man, I got you. Let's go. I'm going to help you out to do this. Or even worse, let me give you one more. I'm going to make my point. I would take people under my wing, coach them, help them, guide them.
Yep.
And then when they found out that it wasn't as easy as they thought it was, they would just quit on me cold turkey. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Dude, I put a year into you. I put 2 years into you, coaching you, helping you, trying to get you in the acting game, and now you're just gonna go quit and go get a job. What? So now, when people ask me, help me be an actor, I charge you. You know why I charge you money now? Because I don't care if you two-face me, backstab me, or quit on me. Got paid for my time. So you got to understand on how you help people. If someone gets your intimate time, your intimate help, which is time which you can't buy back, and that's a serious thing, you better know who the hell you're helping and why. Yeah. Because if you're willing to give it to them for free, I'll tell you straight up, straight out. If they take your free ride and then later they backstab you, that's your fault. It's not their fault. Why? Because you didn't find out who you were helping first. And that's one thing that I learned.
I learned that the hard way.
And I learned it the hard way too, and that's why I speak like this. I'm close to 50. I know a lot of you thought I was 24. But I just said, got to moisturize.
I thought I was older than him.
Yeah, you got to moisturize and exfoliate the skin.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Keep it fresh.
That face steamer come in handy, man.
But I learned all this through time. So that's why I tell people, man, just, before you do any business with anyone, do a heart check and a personality check first.
Nah, and that's, you know what? That's good that you mentioned that because
you hit a nerve, bro, so I just let it all out.
Hey, I had to, man, because I feel like the next up-and-coming generation that's watching us, they're probably wondering, they probably had the question while you were speaking about the higher uppers. They probably had a question like, oh, well, Noel, have you helped anybody? Well, there's your answer right there.
Yep,
He's selective, as you should be.
No, I was helping people at the starting. What I'm saying in the sense is I didn't have the power to get a movie made. See, I never had a starring role. You got to remember that.
Right.
I've always had like supporting or little cameos here and there. It's when you're the quote unquote big name, they sit you in an agency and they say, what movie you want to make? What idea you got? All right, we're going to dump this much into it. I was looking for millionaires to invest in a movie so we can make the movie. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have the power to put people on the map like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I did have the power for, though, is how to help people to get it to where you could be an actor and start getting your feet wet and start your business. And if you become a star, you become a star throughout it. So you could do it with the coach or without a coach, but it's going to be a harder journey without a coach. Makes sense? See, I don't want to say names because I just won't do that, but I didn't have the A-list power to be like, to walk into my agency and be like, here's my idea for a movie, dump $5 million into it, let's go.
Right.
I never had that power.
And now we got
my power. My power was always on a medium level.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And damn, fuck, I didn't think about it that way. Like now you hit something on the top right there where you said you never had like the main role. You've always been a supporting actor, but fuck, you fucking made a way, bro, for the last 20 years.
No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I've been very blessed.
They're memorable too.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Impactful scenes.
I've been very blessed to stay busy and stay working and stuff, but I tell people there's 2 ways to make it in this business. You get a millionaire who believes in you, writes you $1 million check, go make your movie, or you make your own millions and you make your own movie.
Right.
That's just how it goes.
And that's the only reason I point that out is because for everybody watching, we live in a generation right now where everybody wants to be that guy. Yeah. If they're not the main character.
Hey, there's another way to be famous, man. Just go on Instagram, go in a Burger King, throw a register through a window. Be famous. You'll be famous by tomorrow.
Go viral quick. TikTok will get you there. Instagram will get you there.
You'll get 2 million views. I'm just playing. Don't go do that, but you feel what I'm saying.
Damn. Well, Noel said I could just throw this out the window.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me. Hector told me to do it. Nah, man, that's tight, man. And for one of the things I gotta ask though, man, with all these roles, I've seen a lot of your interviews. I don't think you've ever specified. I gotta attempt to get it out of you. What's the biggest check you got? Yeah. This ain't what you want, so I at least got
Hey, I tell people the stupidest question is the one you do not ask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ask whatever, but I'll be straight up with you. I never tell people, but let's just say this. One of Mike Tyson's most famous comments was rich too soon, smart too late. That's one of Mike Tyson's famous comments, and that's what happened to me, man. Like, at one time, I was making a boatload of money, and, the way I say it is, and not in this way or that way, just saying what the truth is, what I'm saying is, I did at one time. I made a lot of money. I had the connections to, party, the quote-unquote fame to party, the quote unquote money to party, and I partied.
You were wilding,
So
huh?
I was wilding out on a whole nother level, and that's where all that money went. So I'm being smarter and wiser on my second.
Right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm being smarter on my second go round, but my first go round, yeah, I'll be real, man. I was
And you know what, brother? We on the same boat because
Yeah.
even though I'm still in my younger years, I like to say.
Well, I had a whole lot of fun though. But
Yeah, I mean,
But you built memories. You got memories.
yeah, I got memories for days.
put that in
Some
the,
good and some bad.
Yeah, put that in the bank. Yeah, I feel like I went through the same thing. Real young. Got.
I'll share a true story with you though. I'll give you this at least. I'll give you this. This is a true story. I'll give you.
I
We gotta hear
no.
I think he made past the million.
I shared this story. I shared this story maybe a couple times, but oh my bad.
Nah, you good. You
Call me
good.
during Don't call me during no interview. All right, I turned it on. I will give you one story though on the money tip, and I'll tell you a true story. I can't even make this up. Here's a true story. So before Fast and the Furious, I worked all kinds of 9-to-5 jobs. I worked at Burger King. I worked at a place called Pizza Mania, delivered pizzas. I worked at Olive Garden, Denny's, Toys R Us,
Ooh, I love
KB Toy Store. I worked at Kmart, Walmart. I had all kinds of odd 9-to-5 jobs, right?
Yeah.
I was going to the same bank for 8 years. Same bank for 8 years. Hear me loud and clear here. Same bank for 8 years. I got to press this. All of a sudden, I do Fast and Furious. I walk in to go deposit my check. Same bank for 8 years. And the lady at the window goes, "Do you have a financial advisor?" I said, "No." She goes, "You should go in the back and talk to a financial advisor." I said, "All right, cool." So I go back there. The manager of the bank comes over and says, "Hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so. I'm the manager of the bank. I just want to introduce myself. This is the assistant manager." And they start introducing me to like 3-4 people in the bank, right? And they give me their whole spiel. And I said, "All you guys are funny." I go, "I've been coming to this bank for 8 years, and not once have any of you ever come around the corner to introduce yourself. And now all of a sudden I'm depositing a fat check, and all you guys want to come out the woodworks and say what's up." I was like, "F all of y'all, fake mother." I just started cussing them out.
Right.
I said, "Deposit my check, and I'm out." And so you gotta make that type of money.
Hold on.
You gotta make that type of money to know that for real.
Just to do
That's
I'm gonna try to do the math. Hold on.
I can't even make that up. So when that happened, I remember I left the bank that day, and I was like, "That's funny. That's how the world is."
That's how
right
the world
there.
is. Now consider it.
That was a big.
I'm gonna have to say, look, I'm gonna have to guess for the
All they
people.
saw was a check now.
Look, I'm gonna have to say it was at least over 500,000. Because I've deposited some shit in the bank before, and they ain't never did that shit to me. So
Well, maybe, but you're younger now, and maybe they learn through my experience, because I'm assuming they probably did that to people back then. This was.
Oh, and you told them about themselves.
This is 23 years ago. So this is 2001 when I did Fast. I'm just making a point. Like, I don't know when you made your money.
I was 6 years old.
Well, there's my point. Like, I don't know when you made your money, but I'm just saying the banks learn. You think I'm the first one to cuss them out after I brought in a fat check?
Yeah.
They probably got that a couple times, and then they started realizing, "Oh, we better treat everybody the same." And you didn't get that
now
experience.
You're treating me nice.
Because you learn through experience. You get what I'm
Did you
saying?
stay with that bank?
No, hell no.
Okay.
I left that bank and I went to another bank, and
Yeah.
Fuck that bank.
Yeah.
Get him anyway.
Yeah, y'all gotta know.
But I just give you that for the money deal, so you just know, like, I can't even make that up. Like, 8 years, same bank, then you get a fat check, and all of a sudden they come out the woodworks.
Hold on, man. I was depositing this guy's Burger King checks. Next thing you know, he
They
come.
got
Oh, no. Don't get it twisted, homie. They didn't even know me when I was just a customer like anyone else. They didn't even know I was at that bank for
They
that
didn't.
long.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So they didn't even
It's
notice.
when you made the real money, all of a sudden they know who you are.
Right. God damn, man. Y'all treat everybody with the same respect, y'all. Y'all never.
Oh, they on that game now.
Y'all never
They on
know when
that
y'all
game
gonna
now.
bump into the next Hector.
They on that game now.
Shit.
Trust. They learn as
Damn,
they
that's
go.
fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope, man. I like I said.
So that's for your money question.
the money question. Damn, I tried to get it out of him. You know what I mean?
He tried
I thought he was gonna hit me with a number. I was like, shit. On the way here, I was like, fuck, 2001, bro. Fast and Furious. That had to be lovely. But it was, I'm assuming, from the past interviews that I've seen, it was a life changer. You ain't even gotta say a number, but the check was life changing.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
All day, but yeah, it was. But I tell people, and you gotta hear my heart on this one, man. Is real success is not all the money you make and blah blah. Real success is in your heart and in your mind first. Because how many millionaires you see that they got everything a man could want or someone could want, and like when you go to the cash registers of like Target or Walmart, you see all the magazines in the front. All these people's lives are destroyed because I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, hooked on drugs, pornography, cheating, or whatever. And they multimillionaires, but their lives are crap, and destroyed. So real success is in your heart and in your mind first. You know what I mean? I don't care who got how much money in the bank, whether you got $1, $5 million, or whatever it is. Man, if you ain't right here and here, you ain't even, you're not worth my time. Like, I don't want to mess with you.
Damn, that's a crazy way to put it. Because, like I said, I'm going through that now. Most of the time, we're real homebody with it. We like to, just stay at home with our kids, raise our kids, make time for our kids. For a lot of years, I was on the road. When I first started rapping, I was on the road 24/7. I never got to appreciate the fruits of my labor. My kids didn't really get to see me. And, yeah, I was at one of the most successful times of my life. But like you said, in my heart, I felt like I wasn't there. I was missing out on what was important, my kids, all that. Now we have the fucking best relationship. You know what I mean? I get calls for shows all the time. I'm nah, I promised my kids we'd go to the park that day, or my kid got a basketball game. I can't do it, man. It's just what makes me happy now. You know what I mean?
What people got to understand is, what real peace of mind is? Real peace of mind is living in your purpose. That's what real peace of mind is. When you're living in your purpose, you're going to have peace of mind. But when I got to live by a life lesson. If it feels wrong, it's wrong.
Right.
So
go
if
with
you're
your
doing
gut.
something that just don't
go
feel
with that
right,
intuition,
you know what I'm saying? So
go with your gut for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's facts. Hell yeah. I know you had a couple questions that you had lined up.
Fire away.
Don't pull away. You know what I mean? This is saying what you want, so the least we could do is ask him. You know what I mean? He already told us off camera. He'll decline it. You know what I mean?
No, fire away. It's all good.
No, like I've seen.
Okay, that's
a lot
enough
of
questions.
The movies.
Nah, I'm playing.
That's it.
I'm playing.
Watch out.
I'm playing.
I've seen a lot of the movies that you played in, shows like that, but one that sticks out because it was different was in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, don't get personal now. Don't get
How
personal.
was that? How was that? Because that was a different type of role.
So I'll tell you.
That's a good one.
I'll tell you something funny.
Shout out Jim Carrey.
I ain't gonna lie. I try
out
to practice
Jim
that
Carrey.
myself.
Jim
I'm
Carrey
like,
cool
I
as
couldn't
hell.
take myself serious.
No. So I'll tell you how they did that. It's kind of crazy. So they had a cage with no door on it, and they made an oversized pair of pants with Velcro, and the monkey came out on a sound cue. And that's how they did it.
What?
And all I had to do was make the face, and there it is. Hollywood put it together, and you got what you got.
I was
they did
wondering,
it.
no, but you played the hell out of that face. You acted that out good.
Yeah. I know some people are like they're like, did a real monkey? Yeah, okay, like a real
come
monkey.
on.
Come on, stupid, right?
They be asking you if you really had a monkey.
I got
Kind of obvious.
There's some
No
idiots
monkey
out there,
really
but
came out.
no, but that's how they did the scene though. So they brought like 17 or 27 monkeys on set because they didn't know which one was going to cooperate. And so, long story short, this truly was a third is the charm story because the third monkey cooperated, came out on the sound cue, did its deal, and the director told me, is like, just pretend you're taking a number 2 and, like, make that face and, like, pretend it can't come out and, like, squeeze your hardest. So I was like, all right. So I just did what I did.
Hey.
And when you got that
there it
script,
is.
like, what went through your mind? Like, a monkey's coming out of my ass?
No, it's
like,
funny because that first originally wasn't in the script.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jim Carrey is a nut, man. I love Jim Carrey to death.
Hey,
he changed the script like all kinds of times. Like I literally got 7 weeks out of that movie because Jim Carrey kept on rewriting the script.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's tight. Shout out Jim Carrey.
No, me
He's
and the homies that were in the movie were like, keep on writing because we had to keep on getting paid.
Right.
We were on weekly contracts, so we were like, keep on writing. Yeah, because of that, we got paid for 7 weeks when we were only supposed to work 1
Man, that's tight, man.
That's tight.
If you ain't seen that scene, you gotta go watch it. That's one of the best things for me is knowing the behind the scenes.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you a
'cause I
crazy.
was
I'll tell
curious.
you a crazy fun fact about that movie. In 2003, that was the highest grossing movie of that year out of all the movies made.
I believe it because
that was
that movie
crazy.
was funny.
Over,
I
like-
really liked that movie.
It was the number 1 money making movie of 2003.
I for sure was at Blockbuster. Went to go get that.
For sure. I
Easy.
for sure saw that in theaters.
Oh yeah, see, I ain't have theater money back then.
That was like mine and my dad's thing.
He's like, I was watching through the TV of the window of stuff. I was on the front line, lip reading,
Hey.
watching like you're the guy who drives up to the drive-through and steals someone else's radio cord.
Yeah. Nah, for real though. You know, I'm gonna be
put
real.
the lawn chair next to the car.
I was 1 out of 4, bro. You know, single mom. You know, theaters didn't really exist. That shit was once in a blue moon, bro.
Make it work.
That shit was once in a blue moon. So I for sure saw through Blockbuster DVDs. That was one of them ones, man.
Back then, you do what you do. Bro.
And then the Nicky Jam show.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was hella cool, man. To be a part of that was crazy. So my boy Jesse Toretto, shout out to him and Ulysses. Those are my homies right there. They direct a lot of high-profile music artists. They've been in the game for years, man. My boy Jesse directed Soul Plane, back then, and then
Shout out.
Yeah, he grew from there, whatever. But so I've been knowing them for years, and they're real cats, man. They're ones who they remember you and they bring you back and back and back to whatever they can bring you back to.
One of the few real ones in Hollywood, huh?
Yeah. And so he brought me back to the Nicky Jam joint. And then we became homies, and then he put me in the show, which was based on his life story.
Right. Because we started it, but we didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. Did you get to my episode?
Not yet, but I saw that you were in it.
I'm all right.
He's in it. We gotta finish the show.
You did your homework, because I'm looking at Noel, I'm like, Nicky Jam, you was in there?
Nah, Nicky Jam, the homie. Yeah,
there was a scene you were acting in, right? But you were with the younger.
I played the friend of his dad.
Okay.
And I was an undercover cop who busted him.
Oh, shit.
And his story is based on his life story, his true life story.
Yeah, that I did know. Shout out Nicky Jam too, man.
So to be a part of that was
Yeah, that's dope. Hey, you've been a part of a lot of shit, bro. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite?
It's funny. I get asked that a lot, and it's so hard to narrow it down, but I would have to say like Fast and the Furious, only because it started the roller coaster ride for me. And then Bruce Almighty, because I got to get out of my realm and be comedic and show a different side than what I usually do.
That was different. You saw like the funny side of you.
Yeah.
That's what our people gotta.
But I mean, I say that to say I like them all. I'm just saying it's hard for me to like really choose one.
Shit, I would like the one that changed my life too. Shit. I would like the movie that changed my life too.
It means something because you always remember that. Like
I think Splash. That's gonna be your Splash,
man.
For reals,
man. I had the privilege of getting on there, and I heard about a movie getting made in our backyard. And I'm blessed. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But that's
shout out to Burner for
shout out the whole fucking team. Shout out Bird, man. The
David,
whole crew.
Alex, all of them, man.
Everybody.
Steve.
Yeah, man.
Anthony.
What? That's one of the things that I'm thinking about. Like when I was looking at that thing, like I said, I look back at your situation and I'm like, I'm an artist first and foremost, and I do all my little side missions, podcasts, whatever I do. I just live.
You got to
be living my little life and shit.
You got to be Baskin Robbins 31 flavors.
But the acting shit, I'm like, man, I could do a couple different shit. Give me, actually back there we got Gina. Shout out Gina.
That's my assistant.
We met on the set of Ghetto Busters.
Ghetto Bust.
I was there for that one too.
Yeah, shout out Falcon and them. We did
the paletero.
Yeah, we did the paletero role. It was cool. I think the comedy thing was dope for me. I just think that I personally want to bring another side of myself. More serious. I'm a big fan of fucking Denzel. Right, that's my favorite actor. John Q, hands down, my favorite movie.
Oh, I love John Q.
That's
that was powerful,
especially as a father. You know what I mean? But I feel like we ain't got a Mexican Denzel Washington. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I think that nobody has lived up to no crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Bro done did some historic movies, and don't get it wrong, we got a lot of Latino actors out there that do their thing, but I mean Denzel's a different caliber to me. You know what I mean? Or we ain't got a Mexican Johnny Depp. Somebody that can, transform to any character.
Yeah.
So, when I look at myself, getting invited to some of these sets, man, I just think about the possibilities. And is it a far reach or shit? Is it possible?
I don't think anything's a far reach that you believe in. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's what I'm saying. When you when you get to a certain level, as you grow and grow and grow, if no one gives you the opportunity, give the opportunity to yourself.
Right.
It just takes one movie to put you on the map and over, and then it's game over from there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what I started doing. I opened up my own production company and started giving myself some different roles that people didn't give me time of day in. I gave myself time of day in. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Yeah,
what
you
you
gotta
got to
make that way
do.
for yourself sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why, and if it's that one movie that hits, pops, people catch on to, and like, damn, man, because I always tell people this too. You know what your best advertisement is? It's not billboards. It's not bus stops. It's not none of that. It's people. It's people who say, man,
Word
that
of
was a
mouth,
good
yeah.
movie. You got to go
Yeah.
watch that. Word of mouth all day.
Being the people's champ, man.
know?
Always wins you over, man.
Exactly.
Being the people's champ.
But I think, nothing's a far reach, man. Like, if you believe you can do it, I believe you can do it. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to, you might get, it's going to happen to you two ways. Someone's going to give you that opportunity, or you going to make it.
We've been making that shit happen ourselves this whole time. So I think that's the route that I'm going to take.
It just grows
Oh, yeah.
from there.
Yeah. And just being around dope ass people out, I'm from the Bay Area, man. That's all we know. It's, hustling.
Yeah.
Getting it.
I know. Yeah, trust. I know. Same on our side.
Yeah, that's all we know. Getting up every day. We surround ourselves with number of people that, getting it. And before we continue, man, just shout out MJU, man. Like, one of the things that the people may be seeing, you see the clothing that we're rocking right here. You see it at a lot of my merch booths. We got a lot of dope collabs on the way. Trap Hours merch and MJU got a lot of dope stuff on the way. So yeah, I surround myself around hustlers, bro. People that's
He just hooked me up with a shirt too. So thanks, man.
Yeah. So we had to get him right, man. We had to get Gina right back there. But yeah, one of the things about me is like as I'm doing this podcast, we're meeting more and more people that's just sharing their testimony, sharing the struggles and the trials and tribulations that they had to go through to get here. Because you even mentioned it 8 years before you got your first movie. And now at one point, did you ever get discouraged? Like, fuck, this shit ain't happening.
Oh, of course, man. I even get discouraged in it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're always gonna hit your speed bumps where it's like sometimes you start thinking like, man, like did Hollywood forget about me or, what's going on? Why? Because our job is scary, man. One day you working and one day you're not. And then you're working, and then you're not. And that's why you got to do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep yourself busy in the in-between. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, there's some times where, I get down sometimes like, man, I still want to do this, and I still want to do that, and I want to make that happen. Certain things haven't happened yet. But, what I've realized is you can only do one thing at a time. When you have your hands in too many cookie jars, you ain't going to get nothing done because you're trying to do too much.
Right.
And I got this advice from someone else. And, at the end of the day, I always tell people like this. You could line up 10 actors, for example, and you could be like, how'd you get started? How'd you get started? How'd you get started? How'd you get started? And you're going to get 10 different answers. At the end of the day, you got to pick the one that made the most sense to you to get with. And you know what I'm saying? What program
Everybody
to get
got
on.
their own lane, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So my thing, what made sense to me is if you got 10 ideas, let's say, for example, take the one best idea out of the 10 ideas that you have and just focus and put your heart 1,000,000,000% into that. And when that takes off, then you're able to make everything else happen because you got
I needed
the money.
to hear that one. That was for me.
Because you got the money to do it. You know
You
what I'm
got
saying?
too much shit going on.
I know,
Yeah.
I do. I'm a
When you-
Gemini.
that-
My brain's
No, that's
always
the
going.
problem. When you got your hands in too many cookie jars, the reason why none of your stuff is getting done is because you put too much on your plate.
Damn.
Just get the one that you believe in the most. Focus hardcore on that one. Get that one flying /popping/lifted.
Feeling attacked right now.
And once that takes off, it's game
that's
over.
That's for you just
then-
personally.
because
you
you know what
drawing,
it does?
You rapping now.
You know what it does?
rapping.
It's going to create the freedom for
No.
you to do everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. I gotta
So-
focus on
soak
that one
that shit
thing,
in.
man. I'm
Soak-
soaking it in.
I'm not gonna lie. I do feel that because there's been times where I've bit more than I could chew. But now I've narrowed it down to one of the most top 3 important things. We're doing a podcast. Of course, we have a clothing company ourselves, and then we also do the music. I used to do the music, and now I'm dipping and dabbing into the acting. I think for me, it's more of building myself as a brand. People are just fans of Gas. So what can we consume that Gas does? Right? We're consuming music. I done heard his whole album. He got a podcast with his wife. Let's listen to that. Hey, the dude's doing a meet and greet. Let's go show love. Man, he gonna be in a movie. I'm about to be at the theater.
Yeah.
I felt like my method and my lane was making people fall in love with me first. And when they fell in love with me, they supported anything I did from there. I could start doing fucking sports tomorrow. They're gonna be right there with a big ass sign like gas, fucking doing this thing, man. But yeah,
Well, no. Like I said, that's why I gave again the demonstration of you're gonna ask 10 people and you're gonna take whatever answer
Everybody
you
got
take from
different
whoever,
lanes.
and you do it, But I was saying that's what works for me. Like whatever works for you, whatever's gonna work for you, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, because I just got to ask, man.
All I'm saying is it's hard to juggle a lot at once. That's all I'm saying.
No, it is.
Narrow it down a little
Damn
bit.
damn near impossible because the way that I do it is just
sometimes.
water everything and whatever starts sprouting, start focusing on that first.
I water them with tears sometimes.
No,
I have so much going on. I'm like, oh my God.
You know what? You know why I love hearing that though? That you cry like that or whatever. You know what crying really is? It's a healing. So you got to let that out, man. You hold that in, it's going to suppress. It's going to become more, anger of this, that, and depression.
Man, speak
So you
up.
gotta-
I'm being
I'm telling-
attacked.
You're
I'm
overly-
just telling you straight up, like
You must be overly healed then because
you need to cry and let it out.
I do cry a lot, but I am also going through a lot of healing right now that I'm telling you, I've suppressed a lot of things and they do.
No, you got to
They
let
come
it out.
Eventually, it'll be random. We'll be just hanging out with friends and I'll be back. I gotta go cry for a minute because something just popped up,
Right.
hey,
yeah.
shout out to you though, man, because it seems like throughout this whole podcast, you've been spitting game. You got your head right on the shoulders. I'll be completely honest. This saying what you want. There's a lot of weirdos in Hollywood. People that done turned weird over the years. People that ain't lost their goddamn mind out here. Hey, right? He got up. He got up. You about to get him started.
No, that's why. That's why I'm stuck on what I said earlier. Unless you know someone personally or we're involved personally, you honestly don't know a damn thing about nothing. You honestly don't. All you know is what's been. Man, we got stuff happening on camera nowadays, and people are asking, did that happen? Is that real or not? Or what? Or was that a setup? Stuff that's even seen on camera, people don't even believe if it's true or not.
Right.
And that's why I said, unless you involve personally, you really don't know nothing.
Well,
they got everyone arguing over air.
You was talking about the fight. Showbiz. That's not real, huh?
No,
You don't think that's real?
I think it's a show, man, straight up. Remember, the number one word in show business is show.
Ryan Garcia had Haney doing the stanky leg.
I care less, man. My thing,
that fight was crazy.
boxing has got watered down to me. You know who I like watching? I like watching the no-names trying to become somebody. Because that's when they really fight.
They're hungry for it.
Yeah, but once they become rich, I ain't got to get hurt
Part
no
of the
more.
showbiz, yeah.
And I'm just like, they cussing each other out. They hating each other. All that stuff. And then at the end, they hugging it out. And they're going to get away with sportsmanship. And I get all that. It's like back in the days, there's some healing, but it took time before they came and apologized to it. This stuff's happening right away. Once they make their millions, they sitting at home. You think they care what we think? They're like, I'm cool. Come up's a come up.
Come up's a come
All
up.
I'm saying,
Think about it. A lot of y'all getting whooped for free.
All I'm saying is boxing got watered down to me. Where I stopped being a fan is Mike Tyson was my realist. Mike Tyson didn't care about the fame. He didn't care about none of that stuff. He didn't care about the glitz and glamour. He went in to kick butt and get out. And if we need a Mike Tyson boxer back like that. If we get a boxer like that who was like Mike Tyson back in the days, that's someone I'll go watch. But the ones who care about, quote unquote, being out there and all this, that, and the other, like, I don't know, man. Just boxing got watered down.
I heard Mike Tyson fighting soon, man. I gotta watch.
No, but I'm a fan of the old Mike Tyson.
He's like the old.
Now he's doing some stuff to make some money.
You a fan of the?
I'm a fan of the Mike Tyson from the '80s.
Yeah,
not the new one. I'm still a Mike Tyson fan.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that last fight was a show.
Showbiz.
Come on.
Showbiz. Yeah.
All I'm saying is boxing got watered down. I don't know if I'm watching Dancing with the Stars or a boxing match when I watch boxing.
At the end of the day, these people gotta make their living. So I definitely feel like some of it is scripted. And we're gonna get a check. You're gonna get paid regardless.
Right.
You win.
I know this is never gonna happen, but what I wish to teach him a lesson to get him fighting again for reals is that not one damn person buys a ticket.
We had a double back, man. Technical
Sorry, guys.
difficulties and all that. But look, we ain't really gonna take too much of Noel's time. He a busy man. So, do you have any last questions that you want to ask?
I do.
'Cause I know you had a whole phone
No,
full.
I
Don't be
do.
acting shy and shit.
But one thing that stood out because we were talking about the healing and everything, and I did watch some other interviews, and you spoke about you leaving God for a minute and then coming back. What made you come back? What was like, I need God back in my life?
Yeah. Honestly, it was just being yeah, it's a good question.
You a good one.
Yeah.
God
She
damn.
went,
Hold on, let me.
I did my homework.
yeah,
I
she
thought
went,
that was huge.
nah, you went deep on this. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna give you some gas right here,
Saying
man.
what you
For
want, yeah.
I'm gonna give you some gas for this podcast right here. I'm gonna drop it like it's hot on this one. Now, what happened was, in all honesty, what brought me back to God 100. It was a couple things, but I'm gonna give you the main. I'm gonna get straight to the bone and cut out the fat. But one of the side things was there was a friend of mine who was serving God, and he was truly a light in the dark. Like I seen him different than the other people who would say and not do, promise and not keep. There was something different about this guy. Like, and I was like, man, I want to do business with you, because I got tired of the people in the world gaslighting me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, man, I wanna get down with you and do something. So he would pray for me and stuff. And the whole time, it was funny because he was trying to get me to go to church, and I was trying to get him to go to the strip club. So we always had this battle, right? But I was like a hardcore player. I would play girls left and right, and I can care less. And it was Facebook. So this is really what brought me back to God. I'm going to give you some real gas right here. And I don't think I ever said this on a podcast before, so I'm going to give you one. And what really brought me back to God, to be 100, was I was playing girls left and right because I didn't care. And I would just, I'm a player and I'm cool because I play girls, whatever. So one of my booty call girls caught feelings with another girl that I was sincerely dating, that I made her think I was sincerely dating. She really wanted the marriage and the home life and all that. And I gave her that impression that I was the man giving her that, but I really wasn't. I had, 20 girlfriends on the side. But one of the booty girls got feelings for me and reached out to her.
Oh, shit.
So she called me up and she said, hey, I got to meet you. And I said, all right. So she came and she met me. And I knew something was wrong right when she pulled up. I knew like something not feeling right. And I never in my life saw a girl that I thought literally was going to have a heart attack right in front of my face. That's how much I hurt her and how much I crushed her. She couldn't even talk. She couldn't even breathe because she was under the impression that she was in a real relationship. But she found out that I was a male hoe.
Damn.
And so what ended up happening was when I seen her, it was the first time ever in my life that I saw one of my victims. And I said, I don't want to be that guy hurting girls like this. Because I never saw one of my victims in my face.
Break down like that.
In front of me, in my face. I never saw it in my face. I have girls cuss me out all the time and say Noel's a dog and all this, that, and the other. But it was whatever to me because I didn't really know the pain and the hurt that I was putting them. I never seen it in my face. This was the first time ever I seen it in my face, where this girl was like, I thought she was going to die in front of me or something, right? It was like I hurt her that bad. And that's right then and there where I said, I don't want to be this type of man. I don't want to be hurting women like that. And that's what made me give my life back to God, because I said, God, I cannot not be a male hoe. The only way I can not be a male hoe is if you're involved. If you're not involved in my life, I'm hoeing out. And so that's why I was like,
Yeah, that's deep.
Damn.
so that's
God damn, saying what you want. Why you ain't been asking questions, man? We should have been leading with this.
What? I just
you're at
know.
the end now.
But
We
see,
try-
but that's what I mean. Things. I'm a big believer of like.
So that's why I
things
tell,
flow and things are.
and
meant
that's
to
why I
be.
tell this, to you two respectfully. You got to love God first and your husband second. And you got to love God first and your wife second. Because if God ain't in between this, you guys are going to have a rough road and you're going to hit a lot of speed bumps. You'll still hit speed bumps even with God involved, but when you do it God's way instead of your both his way, you'll have a better outcome with God in the middle of the both of you.
Now that was a real fucking gem right there.
Real gem. And I feel you on that because I definitely, I try to keep my faith where it needs to be. Especially
And there was something you said earlier that I tell you respectfully. I tell you this respectfully, right? So, like, let me give you guys one little test. Let me ask you one question, and then we'll end however you want to end.
All right.
Let me give you guys a question as a couple, right? If you guys were both home alone, right, or whatever, and your kid, and someone knocked on your door, he just knocked on your door, comes out of nowhere, and he said, "Hey, let me inside your house. I just want to eat and shower." You guys gonna let him in?
No.
You gonna let him in?
Nah,
Why?
I don't know.
Exactly. So understand this. That's why earlier when you said religion and this, that, and the other, I don't even believe in religion. Religion was created to control, conquer, divide, separate,
Right.
and it feels like a system. And if you feel like you can't keep up with the system, you feel like, why am I doing this anyways? So here's my whole point. It's a personal relationship with you and God. I don't believe in religion. And when you stand before God and you ask him, can I go into heaven, which is his home, if you don't know him personally down here, and when you stand before him, when you say, let me in heaven, which is God's home,
You don't know
he's
you.
going to say, I don't know you. So you ain't coming in.
Dang. And
So you got to know.
and that's a real gem for y'all, right?
Real.
Because our camera cut off right there, but I'm gonna keep it lit for the audio people. Don't even trip because this is authenticity right here,
Right.
man. No scripted shit. That was some real gem that you dropped right there. All right, man. That's it. Like I said, I mean, that was.
That was good.
Can't even top it with another question, man.
Right.
Thank you for the gem. Thank you for being on the podcast, bro. Real humble dude, you know what I mean? Much respect. Like I said, give you my flowers, man, for all the years and all the stuff that you did. And for everybody listening, thank you for tuning in, man. This is the Saying What You Want podcast, man. And I'm Baby Gas.
And I'm Monique Meraz.
And we got our special guest.
Hi, Noel G, man. I'm out. Follow me on my Instagram, actor Noel G. That's what's up. And I say these last words: God first, and the rest will work itself out. Much love.
Let's get it. You listening to and watching Saying What You Want podcast.